I'm so very excited for today. Meeting new friends who ride S1000RRs. Like it's going to be a blast.
We're here today to support a worthy cause and worthy initiative by our friend NK, and he's one of the top leaders, one of the guys with integrity.
When we're done, go the satellite section at the end of Satellite Road. We are going to take a ride.
We're here today for the BMW S1000 ride with Bikers of Africa. Skies are blue, everything is proper, and we're definitely going to have fun today.
We've got together a community of RR riders, and we've got a planned breakfast run to Hartebees Port Dam. We'll chill out, have some fun, engage, have a few competitions, talk about the brand, and then ride back.
My reason for choosing a S1000RR is I only believe in one brand, even when it comes to cars. My car is a BMW, so I just believe it's BMW and the rest.
I love riding, been riding for about 8 years now. I also ride a 2016, but this is my second RR. The other one I sold it last year, the 2014 one, to get the one that I'm riding now. Yeah, I'm loving the bike so far. It's a cool bike and it's got lekker electronics. It's got everything that you need in a bike. Although there's a stigma that the bike rides itself. People say guys that ride S1000RR can't really ride because it's got so many electronics. It actually rides itself, but that's actually a lie.
2010 was when they launched the first BMW S1000RR. Technology based, a lot of guys were really against the technology, and how much a lot of people believed that the bike was helping out the riders that were least experienced, and the purists were really against it.
Out of all the bikes I've ridden, this is still one of my best. It's gonna take me a while to get out of this one.
I was not looking for a bike first and foremost due to its specification. I looked for a bike with a brand presence, and BMW as a fantastic brand. It's been in biking now. It produces a large range of bikes and has a racing pedigree. That's the brand I chose.
I ride a S1000 2016 model. It's got 30,000 Ks on the clock. It's very fast. I love that it keeps me on board. It keeps me going. Whatever is going on, I guess if I get on my bike, nothing's going on. There's no issues. It's my peace of mind.
And for me, it was between the Ducati and the BMW. In the end, I chose the BMW because I read that it was a far more reliable bike than the Ducati, and I've never looked back since.
So riding to me means one of two things, Firstly, it's a community united together, and secondly, obviously, for the love of the German spec. For me personally, there's no better bike than the S1000. It is the ultimate bike of choice, So it is great to have the best bike ever. The Germans really engineered this bike for the lovers of, from the 325 RSs to this. It's the best.
From a biking fraternity, we are not exclusive. We ride with anyone. We welcome everyone. You can see today I joined up with a few guys on the road, and we just started riding. What I'd like to encourage when you do that, however, is just to plan ahead and say, what's your riding style? Get to know each other's riding style, and it's always recommended to ride to the abilities of the slowest rider, not to the fastest rider.
My longest ride on this was to East London and back. So I must say that was quite taxing. Super bikes are not meant for those long distances, but I really enjoyed it. It was comfortable, it was fun.
It's got full acropovic system with software, and the rest of the mods you'll see on the road when you're riding.
There's a lot of stigmas, especially in Bikerville, especially with this particular bike. Stigma that it's the new Widowmaker. It's quite a dangerous bike to have, you know. Guys are arrogant having this bike, you know. There's so many, the list goes on, we can go on the whole day basically, you know. But there's a lot of stigmas, especially in terms of people ride these bikes are quite arrogant. That's what people think, and they're quite a cool bunch of guys, eh? They are quite a cool bunch of guys.
Biking is fun, you just have to be responsible on the bike, because people just think when you're riding you will die or something like that. We're all gonna die someday, nobody lives forever, you know. So it's just about being responsible, riding in a responsible way, and the people on the road as well must be aware of bikers. The cars, the taxis, people must just be aware out there that if you see me on the mirror coming, just you don't have to make way, but just be where the bike is coming. But I've noticed some drivers, when you're coming, they sort of like close way for you. And we don't have airbags, we don't have seat belts. It's just me, the bike. If I fall, it's me and the tire. There's no seat belts, there's no airbags. So just be wary of that, guys.
So it all depends on what you define as dangerous. If you regard the technical specs of a bike as dangerous, then certainly a super bike can go a lot faster and is dangerous. The way I see dangerous is how the user uses the bike. So an inexperienced and dangerous user on a cruiser is as dangerous on the cruiser as a dangerous rider on a super bike. You know, so it's not so much the bike, it's the rider. You know, with RR riders in specific, there is a stigma of riding very fast on the road. There's a lot of RR riders that have been involved in accidents. Personally, my take on things is one needs to set your own personal limit. Don't choose a limit that the bike has, because the bike will take you further than your limits are. I decide what my limit is. I decide what speed I'm going to ride. I ride according to the conditions, and I plan ahead. This, from my perspective, from my club's perspective, helps break some of the stigmas of RR riders in specific and the biking fraternity as a whole.
The other thing that also made me fall in love with biking, because at first I just bought a bike, but I wasn't in the biking community. So then I affiliated with a club. I affiliated with a club, then that's when I started learning about the charity things, giving back to the community. Then that's when I figured there's more to biking than there really is. The people in biking have got good hearts, they're giving back. Like now, when the lockdown was still tight, we're going to these places, homeless kids and stuff, giving them food, parcels and all of that. So there is humanity, or there's lots of love in biking. So, and that's why I love to go to bike events and stuff, because there's brotherhood, there's love, there's more that people are doing out there for the community, rather than just being on the road. Yeah.
There's a lot of bikers that give back. It doesn't have to be orphanages, it could be people that are just homeless, and just to give back to those who don't really have much to anything. I mean, but it's always it's a heartfelt moment between the bikers, the brotherhood and appreciation that once you're there, once you experience it and give it out to one another, can you actually understand one another? And I mean, step on the same level doesn't mean we have bikes that we don't live or experience the same experiences that you do.
So what is it like in basically to see a kid's face when seeing you on a motorbike basically? The nice thing about being able to be staying in the hood and the car seat, you know, when you see kids look up to you. I mean, growing up there wasn't that many bikes, but I always thought that one day, you know, from watching Doug Taylor movies, you know, we had Dynamite Diploid Dudes, we had you know, Dynamice and all of that, you know. We've always looked up to bikers as a nice thing. So the feeling is it's amazing. It's amazing for kids in the hood to see you, and even adults, you know. It's so exciting to be part of such a bigger spectrum of an industry of motorbikes and stuff. So to have people in the car seat and all of that look up to you, like for them it's priceless. It's a priceless moment, you know. There's no words to describe it.
There's a way whereby government can really assist in this way, in giving back to the community. There's a lot that the government is doing, but there's more that they can do as well in terms of charity that we find ourselves active in. They can help us when we're doing those charity events.
You know, one of the things that we always looking to achieve is for people to see that bikers are not hooligans. You know, some of the kindest people I know have tattoos and ride motorbikes. charity events. We do charity events all the time. We always trying to do all sorts of awareness and campaigns. And yeah, I mean, whenever you see a biker, hug a biker. Don't swear at a biker. Just give us a hug. We really need hugs now and then, like everybody else. And yeah, no, we cool people. Those who want to get into biking, you will find excellent advice from 99.9% of bikers out there. So please come join us. Our community needs you guys.
You know, there's not really a stigma attached to it per se. So the stigma attached to it, obviously Pretoria riders would say they do more skipper riding than Soweto guys, you know. So obviously each kasi has its own flavor in terms of the type of riding styles and the type of dress codes and all of that, you know. But yeah, it is a fun and interesting bike to have. The quick shift is the best part of it, you know. That's the best part. So Soweto guys will quick shift better than Pretoria guys or vice versa, you know. So yeah, that's always the case basically. So the one thing that people must never get confused is track is not road and road is not track. Let's not get it twisted. You might be fast on the track, but road will always remain road. There's obstacles, and should you want to do those crazy speeds, so on and so forth, I always advise that it's better to do it on the track where it's a safer environment, where there's marshals, you know, speed limits, and you can do crazy speeds as you wish. However, on the roads, it's quite a different scenario, you know, whereas there's kids, like you said, especially us living in the Kasi, there's always kids running around, there's a taxi stopping at after the robot and so on and so forth. So it's quite a big shift. So we're all road users, however, we must obey and respect the rules of the the rules of the road, as well as also on the track, you know. So it is a nicer environment to be on the track because you can do crazy speeds at whatever pace you want, you know, and it does improve your skill as well on the road, you know, because then you become more attentive and more vigilant in terms of things that you do on the road versus when on track, you know. So it does help a lot. It's improved my personal ability to ride, you know, and at the end of the day, we're not any Rossies and whatnot, but you know, we should have fun, you know, we should have fun as well, but safe fun.
I think it all starts with the rider, you know, to get a good amount of beginner training, to get the necessary amount of road skills. A lot of riders can get the road skills on a track. So you understand how to brake your bike, how to corner, how to turn, how to speed. I also think corporates can assist motorists to acknowledge bikes, to look out for bikes, and to give bikes space, because 90% of a certain amount of accidents are caused by motorists themselves, not seeing the bike on the road.
The one thing that I saw today that I would love to see more of is that the guys were not in competition with each other. They tried to control their riding and not really try and compete with the fastest rider in the group. And the guys that were leading from the fight did a stellar job in keeping the pace as manageable as possible so that everybody can keep within the same bunch. The safety aspect that was done by Bikes of Africa today was actually very good, and the road marshalling was spot on.
I also have kids that want to get into biking, and I'm very pragmatic, honest, and straight about it. The first thing I will tell anybody is, in the wrong hands, a bike is a dangerous weapon. So guys, make sure you get proper training, make sure you get proper role models to ride with, make sure you do trek, spend money to save your life, get proper gear, get yourself a proper kit, and you know, for long distance riding, you need to be properly kitted up. You need to be responsible, and at the end of the day, it's not about your friends, it's not about the people you're showing off to, it's about you and your family. It has to be you who takes responsibility for yourself. My motto every time I get on a bike and I leave my house, I want to come back home. That is my motto. I want to come back home. So that sets your mind for your ride ahead, and then you will take responsible decisions.
To ride in a group would give you more understanding of how other guys ride, and to follow their pace, and to understand the capabilities of your bike in a group, and to know what to do, what not to do. Everybody is in the right mindset. I guess you'd have a safe ride.
I'm more of a solo and a friends kind of rider. I don't really enjoy riding in big groups because a lot of the time it's more difficult to control a big group of people. You do have fast riders, you've got slow riders, and sometimes you get a problem that the slow riders will try and keep up, and which makes it a little more difficult to actually control the pace and control the safety of what we're trying to achieve.
African friends, 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 African friends.
Fantastic ride this morning. Don't usually ride that slow or in a crew of people, but took it easy this morning. It was quite comfortable and appreciated seeing many other RRs out there.
The reason we ride in a collective, it's much nicer, it's belonging, and it's just a nicer feeling to ride in a bunch, whereas we can then have different perspectives and views of how it is, how the ride was, how this was, as you'll get to experience throughout the day. There's formations being formed and a whole lot of other stuff as well, but it is nice being part of a forum and so on and so forth, Very nice day today. Opened up with guys being allowed to open up their bikes a little bit, and when we got to the stop around the place here in Broderstroom, took a couple of pictures, did a couple of runs, and from that point the guys had gotten all their adrenaline out of the system, and we got a chilled ride, and it was very controlled, and we managed to get here safely. And yeah, very nicely done event by Ngagisang, and we're loving a day. And Bikes of Africa, keep on doing what you're doing. We look to see more from you guys. So the words of encouragement before I leave that I'll give to the younger generation is that they should go to school so they can be able to, ride these beautiful machines, aspire to do better in their communities, stick to their studies, and there's no shortcuts in life, Everything that you work hard for, you'll reap the rewards of.
We're still looking forward to many more years of riding. We're not quitting. If anything, we're going to bigger and better. Hopefully one day we'll be kings of the road.